I guess. What are we going to talk about today? Well, at some point, I'm thinking the Gillette ad. We got to get onto that,
Yeah.
which we saw at the pub, which is pretty funny.
Yep.
I think your sobriety,
My sobriety.
just sobriety in general, but your sobriety because you have experience with it.
Righto.
What do you reckon?
Top 5 movies.
Top 5 movies? Yep, that's good. That's take the pressure off a little bit. I reckon we start with that.
Yeah, we'll start with
What else happens? We can talk about government, although I know nothing.
that. I know nothing, but it is the Totally Uninformed podcast.
Yes, let's talk about government and have no idea what we're talking about. Government/politics. And we'll have like little sound bite intros for each section if we make it a regular part of the...
definitely. Alright, 4 topics.
It's a good start.
See how else that gets us. So we'll go movies.
And then just wherever it takes us.
Yeah, sure. Alright, you are listening to the Totally Uninformed podcast with Jake and Tom.
Jake and Tom in the house.
10 out of 10 would listen again, please. We
So-
need this for money. No, we don't really.
Like and subscribe. This is our only way to feed our starving children
All right.
that we have together as two sexually
Two-
active,
two gay
homosexual.
Two
men.
gay men. It's the current year. Deal with it.
It's the current year. It's the current year here.
All right. So top 5 movies. Do you want to start?
All right, top 5 movies. I can't, because we've only just decided we're going to talk about our top 5 movies. I'm not really prepared.
Mate, you should. If they're the top
But-
5 movies, you should know.
I want to put one of the Lord of the Rings movies. Let me just put everything out there.
Yeah, sure.
One of the Lord of the Rings movies has to go in there at least. Definitely we need some sort of Mel Gibson and Russell Crowe. So I'm thinking Gladiator. Gladiator 100% goes in there. Maybe The Patriot, but really they're the same movie.
The Patriot is pretty good.
Yeah, it is a good movie. So maybe I'm thinking The Fellowship of the Ring is somewhere in there. Gladiator. What else do I watch all the time? I'd love to put James Bond in. Are we talking about our favorite movies?
Yeah, our favorite movies.
Yeah, our favorite movies. Maybe I've seen Goldeneye a million times. The first Star Wars, like not the first Star Wars, but the first remake, Star Wars #1.
Yeah.
I've probably seen that more times than most other movies. So what's that, about 3 or 4?
It's about 4 or 5. Yeah.
What else? What do I watch? Or maybe like something a little bit out of left field. I may not have watched it a lot. Something like Wes Anderson.
What's that about?
No, he's the director.
Oh,
He
Wes
does.
Anderson. I thought
Yeah.
you said Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson? I don't know. But like Hotel, what was that one called? The Grand Budapest Hotel. Maybe not necessarily that one, but something like that. That's just like a little bit quirky and funny. What are you thinking?
All right. So, number 1, you got Hot Fuzz.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, you got my favorite camp/cult fiction movie all time, Highlander.
All right.
Number 3, you've got Lord of the Rings and Two Towers. Number 4, you got Aliens.
You've thought about this.
Yeah.
And I like that we've both put in the Lord of the Rings 1 and 2.
It is pretty good.
No one really likes Return of the King. I don't know. It is a good movie.
It is a good movie.
It's long.
It got an Oscar.
It is the ending too.
Yeah.
Finishes it all up. What's 5th?
5th would probably be Dances with Wolves.
Oh, I've tried at least 2 or 3 times to finish it, but
It's a long movie.
It is a long movie. I always try on a lazy Sunday afternoon to watch it, and I'll always get to the point where he's just starting to learn the language, and they're swapping the languages, and they're trying to help each other out. I have no idea what happens past there. Twice I've watched it and done that same thing, got to the same point before. And it's like, not because it's a bad movie, it's just the timing of when I've watched it.
Yeah.
I've always been just like, oh, I've got nothing on, I'm bored and I'm tired. I'll watch this.
So you end up sleeping.
But fuck, I love the concept of the movie. I should finish it.
It's good. It's been a lot of movies like it. Like
Yeah.
Avatar.
Yeah, I was thinking
It's
Avatar as
basically
well.
fucking that
The
movie,
same
but,
thing, but sci-fi.
but with aliens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's others. I can't remember them right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say Gladiator. Gladiator's my number one.
Number one.
Number one combination, and number two, I'm gonna lock in Fellowship of the Ring.
Yep.
Seen that a million times. Oh, no, yeah, I want Glad. Do you know they were gonna make a remake of Gladiator?
It will probably be shit.
The script I heard of was he goes up into, the Roman idea of heaven or whatever it is, or what do you call
The afterlife.
Yeah, just some sort of afterlife.
Yeah.
And he ends up fighting the gods, and he beats the gods and gets sent back down to Earth.
What?
I don't care if it's a
Who
fucking
wrote
stupid
that?
idea. It doesn't sound like the writers that did the first one. Ridley Scott is a good director.
He's had his hits and misses, I'd say.
Did you like Robin Hood?
He's Robin Hood with Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch all of it, but I'd probably rather Men in Tights.
Yeah,
the comedy one.
That is the best Robin Hood.
The comedy one, or the one with.
If I was that close to a horse's dick, I'd be worried about getting pissed on. That was. I think that was everyone's first introduction to Dave Chappelle without even realizing who he was.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. And you know that the Wes out of the Princess Bride?
Oh, Princess Bride, what a good movie. Yeah. Yep. What about him?
That's the main guy out of.
Oh yeah. And he's also in what is it called? What's the Top Gun ripoff? Hot Shots.
Hot Shots.
You seen Hot Shots?
Yeah.
That's fucking great movie.
What about Airplane? Have you seen Airplane?
Airplane's a good one. Yeah.
It's fucking funny as. Fucking hell. If I was going to go over 5, Kill Bill 1 and 2 would have to be in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Same with Pulp Fiction.
That was also, when you mentioned Pulp Fiction, I was thinking of just any
Quentin
Tarantino movie, yeah, for sure. Well, I guess that's our top 5 movies. What?
Put a cross through that.
Cross that off the list.
All right, we've got Gillette ad. We've got Sobriety. And we've got government /
Well,
politics.
I said we talk about the movies first. What do you want to talk about? Well, or do you want to go to the completely uninformed?
Yeah, we'll go completely uninformed.
Government and politics, yo! Insert a clip here of, what's her name? Pauline Hanson saying something stupid.
What do you mean? Have you seen that fucking music edit of all her quotes, but they've made it into like a pop song?
I think I've seen something similar.
I'm sure. I came on the radio the other day. What the fuck?
Yeah, that sounds
pretty funny.
Sounds about right. They do that for everything, eh?
So we'll name this podcast the Totally Uninformed Podcast, so we can talk about things and not have backlash because we're saying we're prefixing it by saying we don't know what we're talking about.
We are, but also I don't think anyone's going to hear it. So.
Yeah, that's it.
But if anyone ever does, we are straight out admitting it's kind of we're Emineming it, we're 8 miling it. We're saying like we're giving ourselves shit so you guys can't.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Also, we might end up doing some research, but Totally Uninformed is just whatever.
Yeah. Maybe that. Yeah.
So what do you want to talk about government and politics, mate?
Well, let's start with the very basics. Okay. I think we should both start with what is your relationship with the government at the moment? Do you what are your thoughts on it? Just generally.
Relationship.
Yeah.
Well, I'll go first. I am currently on Centrelink, which is not ideal. And
but there's a straight out positive of government at the moment.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a positive, but like
not necessarily your situation, but if you to be in that situation because you're studying at the moment, and so anyone that is studying can put their full attention into that if they want. So that's what do we call that? What do we call that? That's the just social welfare.
Yeah, social
system.
Welfare system.
Yeah. Okay. Is that it?
And I'm currently dealing with the government, the Department of Education.
Yep. So we both have. Well, I guess we may as well go out and just say it. I'm not going to say our real names. Ekash. Dan.
I've already said our names already.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, we said it at the
Jake
start.
and Tom.
God damn it. Oh, well. Please don't fire us. No, we're not going to say anything.
How many Jakes and Toms would be the thing over
But we both work in the Department of Education. Well, Jake's just about to...
I'm about to start.
And I've only been in there for less than 12 months. Coming up to 12 months. But yeah, so we both work in the government.
We're both government employees, apparently.
Yes. Well, I was going to say that I think we have a pretty solid social welfare system.
Yeah.
So we've got our health and our healthcare. We've got our fallback option of the dole system, whatever we call that here. Centrelink. We've got what else do we have that's pretty solid? Like our roads, we always complain about them, but
Yeah.
we can fucking get from A to B fucking really well.
That's it.
Although, so transport's not too bad, although you could say that we could do better with rail. So just looking at some of the main things, I think we do all right. We're pretty solid. And again, this is totally uninformed. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I think that we have, so just from our point of view is we work in the government, and I think we can really already see issues that we have. I used to work at a what would you call it?
Social care.
Yeah.
Social worker.
Social work. Yeah, I was a social worker, and my fucking company got contracts from the government, and we would help out people. We'd use that contract funding to help a certain amount of people. And the amount of fucking waste that you see, and it's no fault of anyone in particular. It's just whenever government gets involved with anything, there is an extreme amount of waste.
Can you give an example?
I think so the difference there, you'd have to say what's the difference, and it's that you could take two companies. One is working for profit, the other one is not working for profit. Straight away, everyone's jobs rely on how much money that you can make, how much benefit you have to the company.
Yeah.
So when you get in the government, they're not so much a government position. They're not so much worried about money, and you could look at that in a positive way. And there are many positives that government jobs have, and government sort of sections, companies, whatever you call them, have. But it also means that you've got a lot of positions like these ridiculous HR people that have no fucking benefit whatsoever to anyone, and only have a job because of some stupid fucking policy that has been put in place because of a report that was found somewhere. Long story short, there's a lot of people doing jobs that don't need to be there. There's a lot of roles that are unnecessary. There's a lot of hoops that you have to jump through that are retarded. But again, the hoops, they go back on the government. This is going to get boring if it's just me rambling. There's a lot of ramble there. I'm sort of in and out. I just wanted to put out my point of view, and this is I guess, a position to take on politics, and it's that government is good when it comes to basic healthcare, a basic social welfare system, a basic education system, and everything else government needs to drop its grip on, and we need to export to the private sectors. That's my point of view on government. That's where I want to start.
There's a lot of things that I think that they could be doing, but I'm just one bloke sitting in an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
But man, just the amount of bullshit that goes on in the government these days, man. It's like we haven't had a prime minister for over 4 years since Kevin Rudd. Did he serve his full term?
I don't think he did.
The one before that.
Johnny Howard.
Howard. He did like 12 years.
Yeah.
And then Kevin Rudd did like 3. Then Julia Gillard did like 2. Then. Yeah. So in the past, like,
who was after Gillard? Was it Turnbull after her? No, it was someone else. No, oh yeah, Abbott.
Yeah, Abbott. Yeah.
He didn't go through either, did he?
No, he didn't go through his whole term.
And then after Abbott was Turnbull, right?
Yeah.
And then.
Now they're thinking about. No. Yeah, we've gone on from Abbott as well now, haven't we? No, not Abbott. Abbott Turnbull. We've gone on from Turnbull.
Scott Morrison.
Yeah. So since 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Which has been over 10 years now, we haven't had a prime minister serve their full 4 years.
Yeah, fucking oath. And I think. Well, what does that come down to? That comes down to fucking party infighting.
Party fighting and all that sort of crap, backstabbing each
Mhm.
other. And
So there's no. So what we vote on, because although we don't, we don't vote for a prime minister, but we vote for someone.
We vote for a party, and they
Yeah,
elect a party leader, and
yeah.
then they become the prime
And so
minister.
and the prime minister is the one basically that has that has the final say on the policy. And so if that changes, then your votes could well be you know not of what you wanted to vote for.
Yeah.
It could be something different.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I think
We live in Australia, by the way, for all you international listeners.
all the international
If you couldn't
listeners.
tell by the accent.
Do you reckon they could tell?
I don't know. I've heard a lot of like people outside of Australia think Australia sounds like English accent, but I'm like, what the
They
fuck?
can't tell or they think we're Austrians, right? Or Kiwis. I don't know. I don't think we are we done with government and politics? Or we want to keep going? Or we could go forever.
You could literally go forever.
We could literally go forever.
Might as well keep going.
Yeah. I was gonna say international stereotypes.
International stereotypes.
Well, Australian stereotypes.
You want to go with Australian stereotypes?
Australian stereotypes. Lock it in, Eddie. $200.
Okay.
What do you got?
Bogans.
Yeah. So if you stayed it, okay, bogans. Like other side of that is the crikey bloody Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah, a lot of people think that Australians are all like 6 foot something tan surfers.
Yeah, so you've got the surfer, you've got the Crocodile Dundee, Steve Irwin character, you got the fucking bogan with the tight fucking small shorts and crop top or whatever you call it, wife beater, yeah, fucking tramp stamp, all that shit that I guess every country has. But we say we're a classless society, but look at us, heaping shit on bogans. That's 100%. We say we're, and fucking every politician says it, right?
But I think bogan doesn't. I reckon there could be rich bogans, man.
There was a show called The Upper Middle Class Bogan with Glad Robbins in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it can be. What is a bogan? A bogan's just someone that fucking doesn't really think much, I guess.
I like bogan who was like trashy.
Yeah,
I would say
easy.
trashy.
Well, not saying everybody, but there are a lot of fucking tradies out there on big fucking money and who don't fucking think much, let's be honest.
I don't think it has to do with thinking. I think it just has to do with like you can be a smart bogan. It's just like how you act. It's like your morals and your way you dress and the way you hold yourself. It's like you're just and the way you talk about things, like ignorance and stuff like that.
Yeah, I think it comes straight down to the fundamental thing about bogans is they don't fucking question anything. I think that's the problem. So you see someone walking around and you're like, so they've got like their fucking wife beater with these shit house tattoos and fucking like their hair's all fucked up and their teeth might be missing and shit. And you're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, why are you out like that? Just have a shower. That's all you need. A shower and a haircut and you're sweet. You will walk around and blend in like everyone else. But they don't fucking question what they look like and then it's the same with, what they do, morally speaking. So they might so you always see that woman that's, outside Coles. This isn't anyone in particular, but that generic woman that's outside Coles just fucking yelling at people going, oh, for fucking nana. And who is that person? They're not thinking about what anyone thinks of them. They don't give a fuck what anyone thinks of them. And that isn't necessarily always a good quality to have.
No,
you should care what people.
You should care to a degree.
To a degree.
Yeah.
It's part of society, man. We need to be together here.
Another stereotype. Racism.
Racist. We're all racist.
We're all fucking racists, man.
Oh shit. Where does that come from?
I don't know.
I guess.
Bogans.
It comes from fucking the past treatment of indigenous people.
And yeah.
There's a topic we might want to steer clear of.
That's like a no-no topic. That's a no-no.
Well, the uninformed. Is it? Why is it no-no? What part of it is no-no?
Oh, the whole thing about it's just too raw and emotional for people.
It is. Well, Australia Day's coming up. What? Oh.
Ooh.
Do you want to get into that whole can of worms?
Oh, fuck no.
You don't want to?
Nah, man.
Do you have an opinion on it?
I have an opinion, but it's like the only opinion I had with us. I got this off someone, and it was like why do big businesses and stuff now care about what day it falls on when like the year before? So this is 2018. Last year,
19.
Whoa, 2019 now.
Whoa.
2018.
Yeah.
There was this big kerfuffle about changing the date. It's always been there, but now it's like hit the mainstream, and mainstream media thinks it's cool to do. But the year before that, they were all like, all the news outlets was like, "What are you doing for Australia Day? Top best things that you should wear on Australia Day." Friendly Geordies, yeah.
Friendly Geordies, yeah. It was like he showed this BuzzFeed article in 2017. BuzzFeed article was, oh, what are you gonna wear on Australia Day, or what are you gonna like? Who are you gonna be with on Australia Day? Is this dumb shit? Or take the Australia Day quiz.
What your birth month says about what you should do on Australia Day and all that.
And then fast forward to 2018 is why you shouldn't celebrate Australia Day.
Yeah.
And why celebrating Australia Day is racist, and you're all racist for taking part in Australia Day. And you go back 1 year and they say the complete opposite thing. They were all about fucking Australia Day.
Yeah.
Sellouts. BuzzFeed. I was listening to ABC News not long ago, and they had this woman talking on there. I wasn't really paying too much attention. And then the woman signed out. She was a guest. And the ABC host was like, oh, thank you. That was such and such from BuzzFeed political editor. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you've got BuzzFeed political editor on ABC. What the fucking ABC? I like Friendly Geordie's take on ABC.
What is it?
Just basically that they toe the liberal line.
Yeah.
And they only talk about subjects that the liberals are cool with. And so, not necessarily like, obviously, Friendly Geordies has a huge anti-liberal, pro-Labor bias.
Yeah.
And I think to a degree, I sort of agreed with him there, but I only listen to Triple J a little bit, although I can't fucking stand them at times.
The only reason I would listen to Triple J is to listen to the Triple J Hottest 100, which I have done on a lot of Australia days, and now I can't because they've changed the. But then, did you see what the what was it? Triple M. Triple M was like, hot dogs, this is great. We're gonna do a top 100 on Australia Day, boys.
And they did, and it was glorious.
Was it good? I didn't listen to it.
It was top 100 Aussie songs.
Ah.
And I've saved the playlist on Spotify.
That's cool.
It's good. It was a good idea. And there's the problem with government again. What fucking what would you call like economic sort of what profit seeking company would give up a spot like that? They had the fucking prime real estate of Australia Day top 100. Everyone listened because everyone's drinking. Everyone has got the radio on. No one's going to watch TV because they're talking with people, but you have that spot and a place for music to be played. Now you can either listen to your own music, or how about we listen to all the best music of that year? Yeah. They fucking had it, and then they just basically said, no, we don't want to do this anymore. Someone else can have that prime fucking real estate. They were doing
it because there was a lot of pressure around changing the date, and they were like, look, we'll do it, and we'll change the date to the next day. So, I don't know. Do you think Australia Day is racist inherently?
Inherently, no. It's the day marks the invasion day, the first fleet, the arrival of the first fleet. I thought,
was it the arrival of the first fleet or the day Australia was discovered?
Well, no, it's not discovered. You mean by Captain Cook?
Yeah.
No, it's the first fleet.
First fleet, okay.
So it's first fleet, and you'd think, okay, well a lot of people think, okay, well that's white people coming into Australia, and look at what's happened since then. There's been all these fucking issues. There's literally been massacres. That has happened. No one's going to deny that. There has been Indigenous people persecuted and
stolen generation and all that.
And that's very fucking recent. So that's.
I think most
very fair.
Rational white people would agree that there was a lot of fuck shit that happened.
But that's the thing, is that you pick a day, and it's when white people come to Australia, and then you go, look what happened after this, and you go, here's a fucking bad thing that happened, here's another bad thing that happened, and here's another bad thing that happened, and no one is going to deny them. And the first part of that is, well, okay, where no one's going to deny that, let's use this if we're going to think about white people coming in. Let's use that and let's actually address that. And Australia
could be a day of remembrance.
It is. That's what people are saying. Why don't we remember those things? No one's trying to brush that aside. Let's remember that. Let's understand that the Indigenous people are the first Australians and that they fucking have a big say in the country and that problems have happened in the past, in the very recent past. And we still have, and I've changed my opinion on the way we, should be helping Indigenous right now, which I might talk about later. But the problem before that is that people just go, white people came, this bad thing happened, then that bad thing happened, then that bad thing happened. Yes, white people came and those things happened, but there's also a lot of very good things that happen. And and we were talking about politics before, and we were talking about our social welfare system, our healthcare and everything. It's fucking
pretty good.
A grade.
But I will say that Aboriginal people didn't have a lot of access to these good things until about the 70s.
Yeah, and that's it. It was all very recently.
Yeah.
But is the fact that we've chosen a day...
I personally think we could change the day.
Okay, and then the next question someone will ask is, can you find a day that no one's going to be offended by? That no one's going to... And I'm not trying to say that Indigenous people and the people that don't like the date at the moment are like a minority, because it seems to be like at least 40% of people in Australia want to change the date. But find a date. That's your job. Find a date that everyone can agree with. Australia Day has
been on different dates throughout our past.
That's true, yeah.
It has been on different dates. And
I think we only started celebrating it properly, 30 years ago?
Probably, yeah.
It's not that recent. Sorry, not that long ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, I don't think it's racist to celebrate a country that is pretty good for the most part.
Right.
But with acknowledging that it has its down parts in its past. But yeah, it's like, I think until Aboriginal people have a lot better outcomes in a lot of areas, then I think it could be less important to recognize the past. I don't know, there's this thing called Close the Gap, right?
Yeah.
And it focuses on education, housing, and health.
Yeah.
And it showed that Aboriginal people as a whole were significantly impacted in those areas.
Yeah.
And we sort of have had some what am I trying to say?
I don't know.
Some impact in those areas, right. But there's still a lot of bad things happening.
But there has been. I don't have any statistics to back this up, but I guarantee if you look at Indigenous health, Indigenous education, and Indigenous housing, it would have all increased every year. It's all increased. There's no way you can find a year that it's gone down in the past, at least 20 years.
Yeah.
I think it's all continually increasing.
Yeah.
And obviously there's more things that can be done, but we're totally uninformed. So what do we know?
Yeah. I think learning more about the Aboriginal culture would help, the stuff that they've lost and sort of because we know more about bloody...
It's in schools,
ancient. Yeah, I know, but we know more about ancient Egypt than we do Aboriginal culture. I know more about ancient Egypt than I...
That's because the Egyptians wrote things down and they had plenty of, they had these big fucking buildings that lasted it through the millennia.
Still,
it's hard.
We don't really celebrate Aboriginal culture.
We do. I think
we do as much
I think we do.
Okay, when do we celebrate Aboriginal?
We have what's NAIDOC week?
Okay.
We have and this may be not celebrating, but we have Sorry Day. Every and you know this, every fucking curriculum in Australia, English, science, fucking maths, everyone has to hit targets and that say that you have related this to Indigenous Australians.
Yeah.
What's, whether historically or whatever. But there is, so it's in our education and also the kids, and they don't want to kids want to learn when you get languages, when you have to learn a language in class, in school, when you're forced to learn a language, you want to do a language that is going to help you later on in life. I did German. I remember a few different words. Ich bin Tom, du bist Isa, and like, what is it? Du bist something, mein Hamburger. I can't remember how to
Mine
word
hamburger sounds like I want a hamburger.
Yeah, I can't remember how to say it properly. I don't remember much, let's be honest. I only did it for like a year or two, and I hardly ever paid attention. I do remember Quinn sitting across from me though, and she was pretty hot. And yeah, one time she said to me, she goes, "Oh, du bist Isa," and I was like, "Fuck, I don't know what you're talking about." And she goes, "Look it up." And I'd never kissed a girl before in my life. And I did. I thought, fuck it, I'm not doing that. That's work. I learned later on that meant you were hot. I could have had a girlfriend in year 8.
Rip.
Didn't have one all through high school.
Shout out to what was her name?
Quinn Manusu.
Quinn Manusu. Look her up on Facebook. So no, Bruce.
Pretty sure she got.
Leave that out.
Pretty sure she got kids now.
Oh, sure.
But what I was getting at something, is that kids have to learn indigenous languages.
Yeah.
And they do learn them.
In Wooga High School, they have a guy who's fluent in.
But they don't want to learn it.
I don't know.
A lot of them don't want to learn it.
A lot of people
they don't want to learn German or Italian or anything, but they also don't want to learn that. But I'm just saying that is in schools, and we do have NATO Week, and every fucking company that is linked with the government has to have a RAP plan, a reconciliation action plan.
Yeah.
We are fairly well on top of, maybe not on top of it, but we're fairly well working in the right direction.
But I don't think it's celebrated as much. Like if you go over to New Zealand, their indigenous culture is like celebrated. They've got like big, like massive museums dedicated to like all this. Like
we have that.
Where?
I'm sure there's indigenous. There's an indigenous museum down by Corindi.
Is it?
Yep.
Didn't know that. Uninformed.
On the beach. Uninformed podcast. That's us. I mean, I'm sure there'd be something here as well. There's old bud that Josh knows him. He does some work over at Dove Marine Magic.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's done work there. He's done like some sound work and inform them on the stories and stuff. And he goes over to Sealy Lookout. We're in Coffs, by the way. That's on the north coast in New South Wales. Good fucking spot.
It's pretty good.
Beaches and
mountains.
It is so bloody humid. It's so fucking hot. Anyway, I feel like I'm speaking over the top of it.
No, she's right, mate.
But it's so hard because with the way identity politics is, anyone that disagrees with me, and I'm sure there are a lot of people that know more than I would just rather them give me an example than say, no, you don't know. Why can you say that? How are you allowed to say that?
Yeah.
You're a goddamn whitey.
You're a goddamn whitey. Lol. Yeah. All right.
And I don't know. I just want to preface that and say that I don't fucking want. I mean, I shouldn't even have to preface this. I am not trying to fucking hurt anyone. I just feel like we are doing a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that needs to be celebrated and not just not just condemning the issues. We need to celebrate the things we do well.
Sure. All right,
Gillette ad. Well, there's a bit of a segue from identity politics here. Do you think... Okay, so there's a Gillette ad recently, and basically there was an old Gillette... The old Gillette mantra was, the best a man can get.
Yeah. And
they question that now, and they're saying, is this the best a man can get? And they showed like the segments from the Me Too movement. They showed like kids wrestling on the ground, and the men were at the barbecue saying, oh, boys will be boys. And there was a guy mansplaining. There was a kid with his mother, and he was crying. And then
I think that was a domestic violence thing.
Yeah, it was domestic violence. What else is in there?
Oh, there was heaps.
Well, a guy walked after a girl, so it was like a bit of a sexual harassment thing.
I don't think it was a sexual harassment. I think it was more like he was just going to go like chat her up on the street.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, we know what they were trying to say.
And there was this one where this guy was taking pictures of these girls, and he's like, "No, mate, don't do that."
Yeah, that was a bit fucking weird. And like, yeah, one of them was like, "Oh, give me a smile."
Oh yeah, give me a smile.
Give me a
Yeah,
smile.
like feminists hate being told to smile.
I
Fucking.
think that shows our fucking bias there.
Yeah.
But what do you think was right with the ad? What do you think they hit the nail on the head, if anything?
Hit the nail on the head.
Do you think there was anything there that you can take from it? Positives?
Positives. I think that there's a lot of like in the dating world especially, there's a lot of like guys who are like really easily provoked if turned down, or like
a lot of weirdos.
like
Yeah.
I'm subscribed to this thing on Facebook called Bye Felipe.
Right.
Where you know how Mike Tyson was like, "Bye Felicia" to some
Bye, Felicia. Yeah.
to some report or something. They flipped that on and said "Bye Felipe," and it's basically chicks send in screenshots of their like Tinder conversations with guys.
I didn't know that was from. I didn't know that was from Mike Tyson.
I'm pretty sure it was a Mike Tyson.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, and it's like guys getting turned down, or guys being like overly sexual when like the girls are obviously not into it. But the thing is, there's a lot of girls that do the same thing to guys. Like, have you ever been on Nice Girls?
No.
It's basically the same thing as that, but it's girls doing the opposite. Yeah. It's like got girls being turned down and then they get overly aggressive and stuff like that. It's like it happens
on both sides.
On both sides.
I just think anyone that's like that gets turned down and starts getting aggressive or like defeated just needs to fucking grow up.
Yeah. But it happens.
Why do you want to be with someone that doesn't like you? Fuck it. Get over it. Jesus Christ.
And I don't know about the whole boys will be boys thing. Like, I think that people should take it on a case-by-case basis and put context into things. Like, yeah. I don't know, man.
I think,
it seems to be a stab at, like, men, but it's, like, not really... I'd say a lot of that stuff is the minority of what happens.
Definitely.
Like,
but then I guess we can't say that the ad is a failure then, because it's like the problem I saw when I went online just to read comments, because I'm like, this is gonna be fucking good. Let's see what happens here. Oh, and there are so many dislikes to this ad. It's like 5-1 dislikes to likes, and there's heaps of people that are saying that they've had their comments deleted, and they've showing like screenshots of the likes and dislikes have been changed and edited and shit.
Yeah.
But fuck it, where was I going with this? Do you remember?
You went on the comments to have a look.
Oh, I went on the comments to have a look, and I think I don't know, man. The problem with this video, this ad, I think, and you could stem it down into the director, and the director's this woman, and she did an ad for, I can't remember who the ad was for, but it was This Girl Can.
Okay.
And it was like showing different women, a lot of like plus size women, and they were like running and they were exercising and they were going to the gym, and it was like just showing that it doesn't matter if you have flaws, you can go out there, you need to go out, and you can go out. So this girl can. And you can work on yourself, and you can be proud of yourself, like what you're working towards.
Yeah.
And it was a great ad, and there was like a lot of people coming out saying this is really good for me. That's what I need to hear, and it's a great message. It is a really good message. I know my missus is like, and she's not alone. There's so many women that don't want to go to the gym or go running because they are worried about their weight.
Sure.
Which is an issue. So if they clear that up, great. But then we go from This Girl Can to
is this the best? So it's like in inverse, instead of like encouraging men to be better, it's like almost shaming us into.
It's not encouraging, is it?
It's not.
It's
more like shaming us into acting better, which doesn't really work.
This man must, or you guys have to. This girl can.
It's more of a shaming thing.
It's fucking shaming.
Shaming.
100%. And I think
don't fucking I lost it. Don't worry.
Oh, what you talking about?
I was gonna go. Don't misogyny.
Don't
Don't misogyny explain me.
Yeah, right.
Don't no misogyny shame me. That's what I was gonna say.
Shame.
Yeah.
And we all know that men have fucking issues. There are a lot of fucking issues.
There's a lot of issues.
There are a lot of men with issues. I have issues. You probably have issues. We all probably have
Mate,
issues.
I play beat the Greek often.
Yeah, well, there you go. I don't know.
You're not even gonna question what beat the Greek is.
Should I?
It's a skit off College Humor, the Phantom of the Office, and he's like, Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that, but it's in an office building and he works there. So he's on the night shift mostly, and they catch him like dragging this bad Hessian sack. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I've just been playing Beat the Greek. And they're like, what's that? It's like, oh, you put a Greek girl in a sack and then you beat her till she dies.
Fucking hell. There you go. You can't do that anymore.
Can't do that. No. But I think you should do that.
But I think the problem is, that's what I looked at in the comments. That's what I was going to say before I lost what I was talking about. Is the comments say, look at all these men that have a problem with this ad. They must be X, Y, Z. And then there were multiple articles. I'm on the English Teachers Association website, and there are multiple articles people have put up there in relation to this. The articles are just this, and it's about 500 words just with this one argument. Any man that doesn't like this ad, that is annoyed with this ad, is a chauvinist, is a misogynist. Anyone that doesn't like this ad is X, Y, or Z, and all negative things. But show me any fucking ad that can question women in that way. Show me it.
They have.
Will not. Yes.
They have, and they got taken down.
Where?
Toxic femininity. There was one that did some stats about like girls bullying each other and like women not supporting women and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure it got taken down. And
there is a way to actually look at this properly. And although we can't look at those individual instances and say like, oh, he's mansplaining, that's a good thing. No, of course it's not. We're not fucking saying that. We're not saying that it's not a bad thing. But it's not up to fucking Gillette or this fucking director to tell us this. We already know this is an issue. Instead of coming at it like, this is what you need to do, man, you fucking pieces of shit, what they could do is together say, oh, here's some issues that women have. Here's some issues that men have. How about we come at them together as a fucking collective society?
Yeah.
But no, we are fucking set. And I care about this way more than I should. This is why I want to start actually getting into real fucking politics and reading more about actual things that matter. Because the culture wars at the moment, I guess they are important because if we fucking put our guard down, who knows what can happen? You could end up in fucking communist Russia. Who knows? But it doesn't really matter that much. It's just fucking infuriating.
It's annoying, man.
It is so annoying.
It's annoying, bro.
I think we should move on. What do we got left? Master
One thing I want to say.
Yes.
This watch company brought out this ad. I'll show it to you later. Yeah. I'm not sure exactly what it's called, but just go watch ad Gillette, whatever.
Yeah.
We'll look it up on YouTube. It's basically an inverse to that, saying what makes a man, and they went through all these stats saying like stuff like 94% of combat deaths in men.
Even more than that.
94% apparently.
Yeah.
Is what the percentage was.
Probably 80% suicide.
Like 80% suicide. Stuff like men, like a lot of men who have no custody of their kids but pay child support anyway.
Victims of violence.
Yeah, like 62%
incarceration
of homicides are men.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Incarceration rates, fucking all of it.
Yeah.
And that is the thing about this whole, oh shit, I shouldn't open up the patriarchy can. But when people cry foul of patriarchy, they look at the top 1% of men and go, oh, those men have fucking power. Yeah, they do. But look at the top 20% of people and how many fucking men are involved there. Yeah, men are at the top, but they're also at the fucking very bottom too.
Yeah.
So if women want to change this patriarchy, and I'm doing the air quotes, then they also have to understand that you need to change what's happening at the bottom as well. Otherwise, it's not being very effective nor fair.
Yeah. All right. Skip. Smash that skip button, fam.
Smash it.
All right. Sobriety. My sobriety.
Your sobriety. Health. We're moving on to health.
Apparently health, yeah.
So I've been on holidays. We've both been on holidays of sorts recently, and I, for one, have noticed myself drinking like every day, pretty much every day. I've been, and I think for the past year, I get home from work and I have like 3 or 4 beers, up to 5, maybe even 6, and then on the weekend, unless I have something on, I'll be drinking at least a carton on the weekend.
A carton.
And it's not
over the weekend or in one night.
Over the weekend.
Okay.
It just depends what I'm doing. And it's not to say like, oh fuck, I'm a mad drinker, because that isn't necessarily that much. I don't think I'm an alcoholic or anything. It never affects my work directly, but I also know I'm getting fucking fat, I'm getting unfit, and I respect what you're doing at the moment.
Okay, what am I doing at the moment?
What's he doing at the moment? That's a good question.
From New Year's Eve, which was the last New Year's Eve of 2018, for 6 months, I'm not drinking except for Australia Day and my birthday.
Nice.
Which are very early on in the 6 months.
And you kept it so far, right?
It's
the 21st.
21st, so I haven't drunk for 21 days.
That's pretty good.
There's been plenty of opportunities to...
Yeah, I've tried to convince him multiple times, including today.
I went to the club with my mate who got real smashed, and I was just sitting there like real sober.
Yeah,
like,
you went to the pub with me. I was having cocktails, beers at lunchtime, and you were doing nothing. Yeah. I mean, you were doing nothing, but you weren't drinking.
Yeah.
He's doing well.
And I've also taken up Muay Thai as a fitness sort of thing.
Nice. I've been going to the gym a bit lately too.
Trying to cut down on what I eat.
Yeah, I mean, I was so close to getting a Big Mac earlier on. I'm just going to when I was at Harvey Norman looking for a microphone. I was like, come on the way back, really wanted coffee. So I'll go in and get a coffee and get a Big Mac. Then I looked at my gut and I'm like, oh no, I need to lose weight. I'm not doing that. But yeah, I think I don't know. I didn't drink. Did I drink yesterday? I didn't drink yesterday until dinner time. No, I did. I had Pims. I made like a whole bunch of Pims.
I've been drinking less. Pims? How do you make Pims?
Well, you cut up some cucumber. So you get a cucumber, slice that bad boy up, slice up a lemon. You know why those oranges are there.
Yeah.
Slice up an orange.
What about strawberry?
Bit of mint. I don't do strawberry because Mrs. is allergic.
Oh, your Mrs. is allergic to strawberries?
Yeah, no.
What a shitty life that would be.
That would suck. Sucks to be you, darling. And then you pour, it says to pour 125 mils so half a cup of Pims and 1.5 cups of lemonade. Mix that shit up, put some ice in there. It's beautiful. And I'm just waiting for, and this is, maybe I am alcoholic, because I'm waiting for a text back to see if there's training tonight, football training. So if there's not, I'm going to be making up some drinks.
Sure.
But hey, we'll get back to you. You're the success story.
I wouldn't say it's a success story. I'm only 20 days in.
I'm only in progress. But I'm pretty much addicted to computer games. PUBG, I play it all the time. And I've been saying to myself, I've got to go to the gym before I have a beer. I've got to go to the gym before I play that. And that's been working pretty well lately. So although I've cut down a little bit on drinking, I have been doing more physical work.
That's good.
So that is nice. Yeah.
I have been trying to lose a bit of weight. I'm over 100 kilos, which is sad.
Yeah, I'm 99.
Sad days.
How many kilos?
106.
Yeah. What do you want to get down to?
80.
Yeah, I think I want to go to like 88 or something. Just high 80s would be good.
Yeah. So, I cut drinking out of necessity and money and health. My liver function was right up. So I just was like, nah, not worth the risk. So I cut drinking, and it's been good for my bank account. And
yeah, that's another thing, isn't it? How much money have you been saving?
Well, I haven't been getting paid on the reg,
Right.
so I haven't been able to save much. But I have saved about $300 from my last week paycheck.
Yeah, that's good.
Um,
Because I was thinking like, if I go through a carton during the week, like a couple of beers one day,
I could go to the pub once and take out $100 and be left with change.
Easy.
That's once a week. Too.
I reckon $100 a week I've been spending on booze for the past year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like $5,200.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And although like sometimes I won't have that carton during the week, but then I'll go out. I'll go out on the Friday or Saturday and spend too much money. Although I don't go out like I used to. I fucking drink. I used to binge drink irregularly. Now I slow and steady, moderately drink every day.
Yeah. With me, it was more like I'd go out once or twice a week and get real maggoted. Like, I used to beg my parents or my sister or brother to drive me into the pub so I wouldn't have to drive.
I miss college, man. That shit was so fucking
I never really went to the party scene in college because I was working.
Yeah, right.
And I was doing study.
Did you live on college?
No.
No. That's what you should have done. That's what you have to do.
Well, it's too late now.
Well, yeah, we had the best sort of college atmosphere here in Coffs. And we didn't go out all that often, but, you know, you would find a good group to drink with twice a week. And it was just the perfect, you know, mid-level. You still can fucking focus on what you're doing at school, but you've still got plenty of occasions to go out, get fucked up.
Yeah.
I really like getting fucked up. There's something that I will never understand about
it. Even though you know you're gonna feel like shit the next day, it's all worth it.
And you don't. I black out regularly in the sense that I don't remember what happens. I always have people telling me this happened and that happened. It got to the point where I started Snapchatting, like just privately to myself, every now and then. So if I went to the pub and I went to the toilet, I would just do a quick 5-second update to myself. Here's what happened. Here's who I talked to. Like that. Well, maybe that's a fucking problem, mate. That's how you know you're doing it too much. But there's something about it. When someone says to me, "Oh, like we're talking about Australia Day," if someone says to me, "Oh, fuck, we're let's go down to the beach. We'll fucking take a carton down there," that is my idea of a perfect day.
Yeah.
Like beers, music, and it's not just a couple of beers. It has to be a lot. I'm trying to change that.
My psychologist said to me, I said to her, I think I have a drinking problem. And she says, what, do you think you're alcoholic? And I said, yeah, maybe. And she said, well, the test is if you can drink a certain amount in a night and stop, you're not an alcoholic.
Well, yeah, I'm not an alcoholic.
And I haven't tested that yet, but I've stopped drinking completely, so I guess I'm not an alcoholic.
Well, I think if you're an alcoholic, it's affecting your work. I think you just
I think you need it like cigarettes.
Yeah.
If you're an alcoholic.
Yeah.
You can't go through your day without it, sort of thing. You crave it, sort of thing. You crave it to a point where you can't rationally talk yourself out of it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I agree. What do you reckon? Are we going to wrap this thing up?
Should we go the full hour and just talk the shit for another 7 minutes?
6.5 minutes of talking.
Lightning round.
What do you
want to talk about?
Books. What's your favorite book?
My favorite book. Fuck.
Favorite author or anything?
Favorite book at the moment is the last book I read, which was The Amazing SAS, which was about the beginning of the SAS in World War II.
Cool.
And they
true story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Nice.
Basically, what they're originally in Africa, trained for Africa to infiltrate airfields along the East Africa coast and plant explosives on planes.
Cool.
Stuff like that. That's what they originally because they were like, we can't really come this way because it's too fortified. But if we go through the back way, through the desert.
The backdoor entry.
It's like not guarded at all because they're like, no one can survive through that shit.
Yeah.
But they did.
So were they was there any Aussies there or was that just all British?
That was just the British one. I really want to find an Aussie book that goes through the Aussie side, the SAS.
I remember I had a book. I borrowed a book off my mate's dad, and I think I read I don't know, the first 5 or 10 chapters. I never got into it, but I remember it was pretty high regarded. But there's just to say there is books like that out there.
Yeah, cool. That's cool.
Your question.
Well, you haven't told me what your favourite book is.
I don't know if I have a favourite book. I've read all the Harry Potter books a bazillion times, but I don't think they're my favourite. Maybe they are. I don't know. I love Ken Follett. He's my favourite author. And Con Eagleton, both historical fiction. I'm reading, what am I reading at the moment? The Potato Factory, which is about these 2 convict families that come over to Tasmania, then Van Diemen's Land, and they set up rivalry, like Sly Grog shops.
Yeah.
And it's just the feud between those 2 families. It's
Sure.
pretty good.
That's cool.
Learn a little bit about Australia's past there, and it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mostly read historical fiction, although I'm trying to branch out, especially for my work. I feel like I need to, as an English teacher,
probably need to have a lot of sources and resources under your belt.
Yeah, just a bit more experience with reading that's, a bit more diverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Games, what's your favourite game?
Fuck. I haven't been playing a lot of games recently, man, but like
AoE.
AoE is probably one of the favourites.
Age of Empires 2.
How the fuck has that game lasted so long?
Man, the longevity. It is probably one of the best games I've made.
Yeah, one of.
It's up there.
It's up there.
Definitely.
Just from like how long it's lasted. And...
I have an issue, completely irrelevant, but not really, because it's so fucking hot. How is it that in Australia, our architecture hasn't, like our average mainstream architecture
hasn't evolved to the point where it's heat resistant and shit?
Why? In America, all the fucking houses, every house has fucking vents, a ventilated system where they have central heating, and it costs them fuck all because it's so efficient.
Yeah.
Our houses, if anyone even does have an air conditioner, it's just this piece of shit that they've put on the side of the wall that is so fucking inefficient.
It'll cool down one room.
Yeah, it cools down one room. Exactly.
And it's very expensive to get ducted air conditioning.
But would it be if you have it from the beginning? I doubt it. But the thing is, it is almost essential where we live. It's so fucking hot.
Yeah.
Like 5 months of the year, pretty fucking
My cousin's house, they built it with ducted aircon.
Yeah.
In every room.
I can't imagine it being that expensive.
I wouldn't know.
I can't, like, if you just got a couple of metal sheets and you made a fucking rectangle with them that connected to every room, and a fan at the back with the air conditioner, will hopefully together, and then like you've just got these vents that you can open and shut on the ceiling of every room. It doesn't seem like it would be that expensive.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
But hey.
Change it. We need to change that shit. We got 2 minutes.
Alright. I think it's...
Maybe we need to give a shout out to our sponsor.
We don't have one.
No, we need to get a sponsor.
Sponsored, what type of pen
Sponsored by Dale Hooper.
Atlantis Pens.
Atlantis Pens. If you guys need a pen,
go down to your local Woolworths and fucking buy one.
Hey Jake, can you write this down for me?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't have a pen.
Here's a pen, Jake.
Thanks.
Here's an Atlantis Bic pen.
That was off fucking Wolf of Wall Street.
That's a great movie.
So good movie.
That is such a good movie. Not in my top 5, but a really
good
solid movie.
Cracker of a movie.
Yep, the crack.
What last minute?
Minute 15
If
seconds.
you could go in anywhere on a holiday, where would you go?
Shit. I'll probably go fucking Italy or Greece or somewhere cool. Bit of cool ancient history there.
Sure.
But also, or maybe Italy, because then I could go watch some Cristiano Ronaldo football.
Ooh, nice one, Gary.
Nice one, Gary. For 55 seconds, you need to get a microphone so we can professionalize our production quality. At the moment, we've got my gaming headset, my Rig 500s, sitting in between us and the dining room table. That's why it sounds like we're a little bit further away. But I reckon if you had your rigs as well, if you had a Rig 500
well, next
something like that,
suddenly paycheck, I'll get one.
Yeah, shouldn't be too expensive, like $50 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess.
Plug it into your main computer. And...
Yeah, there's multiple spots there. I reckon we'll set it up pretty well.
Cool.
Well, we need a cool sign off. What are we gonna do?
It's time to light the fires and spin the tires, Big Daddy.
It's time for rainbow.
It's time for darkness.